Hey guys, welcome back to another video. As we work, excuse me, as we work on this comic cover. The last time we've worked on this, I have not worked on anything since. I think I might at some point may have collected a few more references of armor, but not too much. Excuse me, geez. I'm trying to make sure. Part 5, yeah, okay. So right now we're gonna work on the other guy, or the first guy, I guess, the one that will go here. And we're gonna do like we did last time. We're going to do it on regular paper and then go from there. I do have some of them. I do have the first one here. I am going to keep this because I think for the armor, I'm pretty sure what I'm going to end up doing is get all this off here. I don't use art tape, I just use washi tape. Like, it's cheaper and it's not as sticky. But for geez, I keep yawning. It's early, I've got enough sleep. But for this particular armor, I think I'm going to go with the swirls for the armor, I think. And then I'm going to probably do some type of like scaling type, male scaling for the front. So yeah, I think I'm going to do that for the armor. So I'll probably keep it that way. That'll go all the way down here, which means I'm gonna have to draw through, so that way it looks correct when it gets down here. So yeah, I'll figure all that out later. But we're gonna work on the second figure here. And I am going to put this in my portfolio thing here so I don't mess this up. So I'm gonna put this in here so I don't mess it up. So there's that. Got some computer paper. What I'm going to do is, I do have another pencil like this, a lead holder. I'm going to pull that out, but what I'm going to have to do, because this one, I think this is the other lead holder. This is the lead that I've got here. It's really short, so I'm gonna have to refill that soon. I do have lead somewhere. I would get my, normally I would have my lead, my regular lead pencil. I don't know why I'm yawning so much, guys. I'm so sorry. But I'll go with the HB, I think. on this one. I usually have HB and H lead. And I also have a 2H. No, both H lead. So H and HB are my go-tos for these lead holders. And then I've got a ton of different leads for my actual mechanical pencils. So, what we're going to do first is we're going to pull up, of course, my reference. Gosh, man, I don't understand. Like, and I've been up for a few hours. I don't know why I'm so tired. And I actually got plenty of sleep. So, pictures, photos. I probably need to create a folder specifically for Lynk too when it comes to photos, because trying to find stuff. I probably don't have any real images on my iPad except for the videos. So go in here. I feel like this is different from this, right? The arms aren't sticking out as much, but that's about it. And honestly, it's only because this isn't symmetrical. I feel like the chest is bigger. Is the chest bigger? Yeah, but only because it wasn't symmetrical. That's why it looks wider like that. Okay. I'm tripping. Tripping, not tripping. Alright, so this is what I need here. So pull up the reference that I have on my iPad and Procreate, and then for the mock cover, and then all right, so we're going to, what we're going to do is, let me see, I just want to see where I have the head at, having stuff all over the place. I want to see where I had the head at for this particular character. I'm probably have to keep all these together. I'm going to flip these so I have them. I want to see where I had the head at to this compared to this one. So honestly, that should be fine. I can always adjust it later. All right. I think I need to move him over some, but we'll see. We're going to, I think the last time I did this, I did the stick figure first when it came to the, the woman. But right now, I'm just going to go, I'm going to do it this way and see how I like it doing it this way. And I can always adjust it. I go back and change it. Probably won't be much I'll be saying after this. There's not really much to say. Um, um, I've got some art video playing in the background that I'm not really paying attention to. The volume is down mostly all the way. I'm not sure if you guys can hear it or not. I'm trying to find something. Can't figure out. Where's it at? Here we go. So I'm gonna make a note in here real quick in my sketchbook when it comes to referencing the when it comes to referencing the figure real quick. So because I don't want to keep having to pull up my book for it. So the head. Actually, let me do it this way. Sorry, guys. I'm just gonna do it this way. There we go. And it's only it's only the head I'm worried about. The head and chest area. The neck, not so much. Just a little bit down more. And then say half. That's like here. I feel like that's about it. You guys will see why I'm doing that. Let me see something. So this would be the head. And then this would be here. So oops, so the head here, that's the head length. And then just to quickly find the middle, I can do this. And then boom, that would be the middle. Versus like having to fold it. So a head and a half. And I'll show you guys why I did that. So this is, of course, one head unit. One head unit, and then we're going to go here to here. .5 head units. So it's a head and a half. And then you still got the torso here. And then like there's a little gap here. The belly button would be somewhere in there. And then you have the actual hips. And a hip is another head unit. So, and I'm pulling this from a book, guys, from Anatomy for Sculptors. That's where I'm getting this information from. So here to here. So this is like the hips. Yeah, I'm doing a quick sketch real quick, so it's not academically correct, whatever, you know what I'm trying to say. You'd also have like the beginning of like the leg muscle here. I'm doing this because I want to know that within this area you'll have the beginning of the legs as well. It's not going to be, the legs aren't going to be like start below it or anything like that, which would make it seem even more, that would make the figure seem out of proportion. So this is another head unit. There we go. All right, that's the information that I wanted to get for what I'm doing this figure here. So that rib cage is a unit and a half when you're dealing with the measurements from the if you're doing the face or the Jesus, I can't think. The oh my gosh. The face of the rib cage, Jesus. You're doing the figure kind of straight on. And of course you can adjust accordingly. And you gotta figure if you wanna, for a quick reference, if you're figuring like the generic measurements for a face, right? The eyes are gonna be halfway down. So that's gonna help you indicate half the head. If it's like straight on or, you know, not at a crazy angle. So like this 2/3 angle or 3/4 angle, half the eye length here. Sorry, this would be like half the eyes or halfway down. So I know that from here to here is going to be the other half of the chest. Hopefully that made sense. So it doesn't have to be perfect. I'm just kind of sketching this out here. And then I'm gonna do here, Joe. Hopefully you guys can see that. I'll move the paper up a little bit. There we go. Because the hips are going to be kind of cut out from, I think the hips are going to end up being cut out. Oh, I had this. No, the hips are going to show. Hips are going to show. It's going to boom. And then here. Now remember the hips are another head length. So they're going to, the hips are going to end off the screen here. So, which is fine. So here, because the hips gonna also include, let me make sure I got this right. Yeah, the hips are, it's gonna go off some, so this is actually, because that'd be like the crotch area too. That includes the crotch area. Something along those lines. I'll probably end up lightening the hips. Alright, something along those lines, and then so outside of the 3D model, the 3D model thing I have, also do have reference packs that I've purchased for poses. I'm not gonna show those on camera because I don't know if it'd be considered copyright. I mean, they are, the figure is clothed, like they've got, like if it's a man they've got pants on, if it's a woman they've got a bra and pants on, so it's nothing too crazy. But and then the hand is going to be cut off slightly, which means I need to make this longer. Yeah, this needs to be longer. See, for me, I'm so used to drawing small that when I'm expanding the figure, it's a lot harder for me. The proportions, even though they are correct, seem off to me. And it's because I'm not used to I'm not used to the drawing a figure this big. So where's my big eraser? Here we go. All right, so what we're gonna do, I'm gonna have like do like this, and then here, and then I'm going to boom, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have the hip stick out slightly more here. I'll adjust, cancel. The other thing I don't like about some of these pictures is the pants. I understand why they did it, but with the pants being black, it makes it harder to see the indicator of where, like, on like the indicator on like where the hips and stuff would be, unfortunately. Color balance, hue saturation, oopsies. So I literally have to lighten this stuff up to kind of see an indicator on my Procreate. So here would be like the actual like differentiation, like the crotch area would separate from like the hip area here, or like not separate, but would be an indicator like he had underwear on. So from here we're gonna stretch the back out more because he's in the sketch that I've got going on, the preview that I've got going on, the guy is bent over a little bit more, so he's got more of a flow of action, or he's not so stiff, which I like. But I'm gonna have to adjust it to match what I'm trying to go for in this image. So that's what I'm trying to go for here. So let's edit this a little bit. So what we'll do, make sure you guys can see. So I'm gonna do this, rough it in some more here. There are times I feel like my desk isn't big enough. It's just, I think there will always be times where it's just not big enough. But I've got so much stuff I'm trying to look at and reference at once. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna think that's roughly the size here. A little bit, actually. There we go. It's okay to adjust. All right. So do here. And then we've got this guy who's, and then also referencing the original image too, to kind of see what my goal was with this. So that's what I'm trying to incorporate here. So he's going here, and then here. There we go. I want him to look like he's kind of kicking that torso out, or that leg here out some. So Because the leg will be here. And then something like that. He's got more, definitely more attitude to this pose than he's got some more life to him than the previous one. I'll pull that back up for you guys. So you've got this pose versus this pose. Definitely has got more life here. So that's what we're going to try to stick with. So we're going to go here, as I want to, this would be where the rib cage would be. Is going slightly in, and then here, and then we've got the hip area here. So this would be like the actual leg area, and then this would be so something like that. I think that's good. So we're gonna build off of this on this paper. I'll make sure my phone doesn't fall off. There we go. There we go. So let me sharpen my pencil, then we'll start working on all right. All right. So let's go ahead and start lightly. Let's erase that real quick because I don't want that. So let's go ahead and start lightly erasing here the face. I think I'm going to need to move this extra paper that I have under here for right now. So one thing that I've been doing on my days off, it's only been like 4 days since I've not worked on my comic, and that was because the first 3 days I was working at work, so I was not going to try to work on my comic on the days that I had to work because I wasn't going to be able to mentally, I just wasn't going to have the energy. I knew that. Where's the thing I'm looking for? Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Sorry. But I know I was going to be able to mentally focus on my art for the comic after working a 12-hour shift and not getting any sleep in between. Because what I would do is I would come home, I might draw for a little bit, and honestly the drawings that I were doing were like drawing just random heads, and I'll show you guys some of that from my sketchbook maybe in this video. But sorry, I'm trying to think here. But I would come home, do some sketches, and then I would take care of the animals first, and then I would take care of the animals, come home after I came home, deal with what I had to deal with, and then if I did sit at my desk to draw, because I would try to stay up as much as possible, because I knew that if I went to bed as soon as I got home, I wouldn't be able to. I would wake up before I would have to, because my body only usually lets me get like 5 hours of sleep, 6 hours if I'm completely exhausted, and then I'm up. Normally, outside of that, it's like 5 hours or 4. And I knew that if I go to bed as soon as I get home, I would be up by like 4 o'clock at the latest, maybe, and would not be able to go back to sleep. And I wouldn't have to leave for work until 5 o'clock. So, and then I would be at work from 6 to 6:30, and I was not gonna put myself in a situation where I'm literally up that late, because I just couldn't go to sleep. But so yeah, and like because I was up already and I knew I didn't have the mental capacity to focus on creating something with my art, with a comic. Ooh, excuse me. I would just do like faces or some type of sketches. Now, the reason I did this, I drew the bottom of the deltoid, was because at the angle that I'm at, the lowest part of the deltoid is in the inside of the arm, not on the outside. So because of the angle, so this would not be out here, which means this would come here. So this part here, I would not draw all the way down to the chest because the arm is turned in. So that's why I did that, if you guys are wondering. I am gonna do this to kind of help indicate for myself that that's what's going on here. And then here, so this would go here, and then this one go here. There is a benefit to learning how the anatomy works. We've got the deltoid, not the deltoid, the clavicle here. And then, and this would go up here. Because remember, you've got the sternum that's gonna go here, right? And then this would go down here. And then you would have that, and this would be where you'd have the chest area here. So and I could go really I could try to go like really deep into the muscles, but it's not really gonna matter because there's going to be armor over this, and most likely it's not gonna be skin tight armor. Like it's not gonna be so what I'm gonna end up doing so this is going to I feel like that should be good right there. And then you gotta figure the two, and then this would be where like the tricep, or not the tricep, the deltoid would be connect. And then we gotta figure and you got the elbow here. Sorry, guys, I listened to a video and it's freaking hilarious. Alright, I gotta take my bandana off. It's irritating me. Oy. Oy. Alright. Now remember, these people are gonna have a mask on, so I'm not too worried about the face. That's Sylvia. Here we go. And then tomorrow's Friday, right? Yeah, tomorrow's Friday. Me and my friends are having a paint along, Bob Ross paint along. So I'm gonna have to probably pick up some extra paintbrushes, just a few. I already got the canvases and I've got those prepped. And I've already got my paint. I'm probably gonna go through my paint just to make sure I do have the majority of colors that Bob Ross uses, but in acrylic, because we're doing acrylic instead of oils. Bruh, come on. These headphones are irritating me. So now we're gonna work on this midsection part here. So his belly button is here, usually, right? With the way this is cut, I'm gonna do it this way. Because the cut that he's got going on is definitely different from what I've drawn out, but I'm okay with that. I'm gonna have to go to the store later and get like some super glue. I ended up breaking my damn glasses, the frame. I'm gonna have to glue it back together. Because of where it broke. So until then, I'm gonna wear my contacts all freaking day for the most part. I don't like it because I prefer to wear my contacts when I'm out. Whatever. So go here. And then you guys know how I do the chest area, like curve it down. And this would go, because this would go underneath here. Well, we won't see that. I do want to fix this, because if I'm doing here, and I go boom, like that. I go here, boom, and then there we go. Technically, I want to change this even more. I want to go here and here. And then scoop here that way. So sorry, you guys are gonna hear me laughing. I'm watching this video, I'm just watching funny reaction videos. So and then boom. And then I need to figure out the next beat here. That's like, and then up here, there we go. Okay, something like that, there we go. There we go. And then, because of the rib cage, something like that. It doesn't have to be realistic, because I keep reminding myself it doesn't have to be 100% accurate. So let me see here. And then boom, like something like that. Something like that. No, it needs to come down. Because they're cutting in too much. I don't like that look. I don't like it. Alright, back at it again. Sorry to pause for a second. I mean, you guys wouldn't know, but I had to pause for a sec. So, I mean, by the time you guys see this video, it'll have already been up, but I mean, you guys saw how long the first video took of the first character. It took me over 2 hours, I think, total. No, that's Sylvia, so I don't know where the hell she's at. But, it took me over 2 hours to get that character down and transferred over to the main. This tiger's drinking water there. Took over 2 hours just to get that figure fleshed out, get the proportions and everything sketched out and everything. So pretty much from the sketch to where where am I? To where to where, damn, tiger. I'm trying to think. Sorry, but to where the figure is actually sketched out. The final is actually traced. I don't say traced, but it's drawn on the final paper. So I mean, 2 out just for one figure, right? So we can have an idea of what what I might end up going through. Tiger, home, home, baby. I know, you're okay. No, leave her alone. She's trying to bug Sylvia. There are times. I mean, Sylvia will be in the front room with Tiger, but I think because of Tiger's size, that freaks her out. So Sylvia, anytime Tiger tries to or looks like she's approaching, Sylvia takes off. And the reason why this isn't all the way down or further down is because the arm is bent slightly. So this is going to be where the belly button is. And then here. And here. Glove handles would be here. So that's what that is. But yeah, the I don't get this. I hope this isn't real. I'm sorry. I'm literally over here, got my headphones in, listening to YouTube. They're talking about a potential lawsuit for games that are designed to be addictive and talking about like stuff like Fortnite and stuff like that. If you're a child, that look, it's up to you to figure. I feel like as a parent, you should be able to monitor what your kid is doing, and if you feel like they can't get off the freaking gaming system or something, put a lock on that bitch. Like, I know there are so many freaking apps and stuff that you can load on these types of devices where you can literally put like a literal like a what do they call it, like a time like some type of timing device on it. Like when I was dating my ex and her kids had Switches, and because they were so like consumed it, like at some point we did put a freaking timer. I put a timer on it until she just started giving them the passcode. But we put a fucking timer on it so that way they weren't spending hours upon hours freaking playing games outside of like doing other stuff like going outside, reading a book. I mean, like, I feel like this is still off. This is off. So here, and then I'm gonna have to do it this way. There we go. Like that's off. It's a little off. There we go. Then go here, and then boom, that goes down here. This goes here. There we go. Something like that. But yeah. I know that you can play timers and stuff on these type of game apps where you have to have a passcode or something. And if your kid is giving you pushback, yeah, like, look, my mom was old school. She used to take that shit when we were grounded from the game. She would put that, she thought we were going to try to, just to make sure we were grounded or something like that, especially from the gaming system. She would take that shit and she would put it in her car. And I'm talking about she put it in the trunk. So there was no way we was getting that. So yeah. All right, so this is a figure that we've got. This figure is gonna go, where's the first one at? So he's gonna go here. He'll probably be taller than her, so I'll probably lower her. So he'll go here. Sorry, my eye itches right now. All right. We'll have to get out the light box so I can trace this guy just to make sure I have a backup in case I mess up. And we're going to shuffle. There we go. So let me do this. This one I don't need anymore. That one's gonna go in the trash. I don't need it. I don't need to keep every sketch or piece of paper that I use. I know we're over an hour, but we're going to keep going because unlike the other video, which is when by the time you see this video, you'll have the first character out. That particular video is broken up into 5 parts because I was doing like an hour here, or 30 minutes here, 30 minutes there, whatever. And then I had to, I'm gonna have to try to condense it or put all those clips into one video. So where did it go? There we go. Put all those clips into one video and link it. I don't want to do that for this particular character, so I'm going to try to do as much as I can in one video and keep it moving. Thankfully, I think I'm moving a little bit quicker than the first figure when it comes to this part of it. So I think that's because it was a female character. Usually, you'd think as for a female, I would draw a lot of female characters, but I honestly have not, and that's something I'm trying to work on. So drawing more female characters is definitely something that I am going to work on, even on outside of the comic, right? On days that I'm sketching or times that I'm sketching, and not. I want to make sure I keep the eye line kind of there, because when I do the mask, I need to figure out where that's going. But this is the, there we go. So on the days that I'm just doing regular sketches or drawing in my sketchbook, I'm gonna try to focus on drawing more females. And this doesn't need to be perfect either, because remember, I'm going to be putting armor over this, so I just need the rough outline here. And then if I need to get more information about the muscles or anything like that, I can either pull up my reference, or I can go ahead and pull up this picture here and look at to kind of get an idea of what I was thinking of, or that just so I can have an indicator there. And this is here, so this would be like the hip area, so I'm just going to indicate like that, and then this is also the hip area. And then you've got the belly button here. I'm gonna do this, just kind of indicate where this is where the pants lie on this particular model. And I just want to have an idea of what I'm looking at here as far as where something might rest, like the pants. And then we've got the chest here, so here, and then boom. My eyebrow, which is, sorry. And here. I'm sorry, guys. I'm literally watching. I'm listening to reaction videos. I can do that right now because I'm not really needing to really concentrate on anything right now. That requires a lot of brain power. So. All right, I think that is it. I'll put the mouth here real quick. We'll do this just in case. And then, I wonder if I should do the indicator of the ribs. I'll do the indicator of the ribs just for me. Boom, just so I know. Boom, there we go. So we're gonna turn this off, and that's what we're looking like for. That's what we're looking like. So now we're gonna work on actually throwing some armor on this guy. Where are we at? Now we're 16? That's fine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let me see. Okay, so what we're gonna do with this guy you guys seen me do this before, lighten it up by erasing using the side of the eraser. But what was I about to say? I forgot what I was about to say for you guys. Oh well, doesn't matter. So what we're gonna do is first this person's gonna have a belt on. That's gonna be the first thing. I'm gonna have it just an indicator here, and then so here, and then here. Something like that. And then and then what I'll do is probably have I'll figure out what I want to do with this, because I might want to put like a pendant or something, or something like that maybe. And then maybe I'll figure out the belt later. Okay, so the top part, where's my sketchbook? Because I have notes when it comes to armor. I have notes. All right. So I have that up here. So I'll probably have shoulder area is what I want covered here. And then here. In fact, actually, no, because here, no. I'll keep it that way because technically the deltoid would end here. Deltoid? Yeah, deltoid, sorry. And then we're going to go. How did I have hers? Her armor. I have to. And we'll do it that way. And then what will happen will be. This would probably, I would have probably hook underneath the arm here. And then maybe here. Maybe connect twice just to for extra stability. And then maybe this side, he's only got one. So this goes here. No, because this would be here. I'm trying to figure out. Here we go. And then maybe with this guy, maybe he's only got the one. What I want to do is I want to have him something like this. Something like that. And then maybe you know what I do? I want to do something like that. Because I want him to have some type of Egyptian themed armor going on here. And I might even do this. And then I know what I'm going to do with that. I think I know what I'm going to do. So I'm going to take all of this is going. Oh yeah. That's like the center line, so I'm gonna mark that. All right. Now, how do I want the rest of the body to be guarded or armored? I probably could do padded, like padded armor, and then have. So let me do. So this is the center, right? This should be. I don't know how I'm going to do this armor. I don't know if it's going to do like mail leather. I'm not quite sure. That I can figure out later. But this is going to be. This is going to be some type of clothing here underneath. I don't know how I'm going to do, actually. And maybe. I don't know how I would do this, but maybe he's got something like a pouch or something. And then maybe here. maybe he's got another blade or something here. I don't know for sure, but maybe. And then something like that. I don't know yet. I don't know yet. I could have it to where, so maybe, shit. Trying to think how, so this arm, so we're looking at the form of the arm here. And then at some point, there we go. Because at some point in time, it's going to turn. So here, so do I want to cover this? And then maybe something like that. And something like this, maybe. Something like this, maybe. And then maybe what if it's, no, that's not gonna look right. And then same thing here. And then this is something like that. This is like, I want to have like a dome shape. So something like that. And then something like that. And then a third one here. So it goes like this, something like that. And then what I'll do is I want this to come across the chest area like here. And then the same thing here. We'll maybe have it here. And then like, and then here, and then something like that. And then what I'll do is maybe something like this. And then, all right, and then we'll do the same thing on this side. something like that. And maybe this one goes over the other one. That's going to hold these in place, but maybe it's also got some straps underneath just for some added support. And then the arms, what I think I want to do with that is it'll be like regular cloth maybe. And then he's got some type of, I'm sorry, I'm gonna move this. Good new. It's gonna go like this. The details of the armor I'm not too concerned about at the moment. I just want to kind of get everything else. We got this here. Because maybe this is padded, right? Padded armor on the outside. I'm just gonna kind of do it this way. Some type of padding armor underneath. This isn't set in stone, but this kind of gives me an idea of what I might do, and I'll make notes. Padded clothing for chest area. It's always good to make notes to yourself. And I can erase these chest, the line indicators for the chest that I had here going on. And I can erase all this in here. Just gonna get a better idea of what I'm working at here. Something like that, maybe. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with the hands yet. I could just do. I could just do. Could just do full on like clasp bands here, and then there would be a line indicate here like the split, and then do that to indicate these would be buckles or some type of clasp here. And so I can erase that part, and this would be inside a full arm around. Just gonna make sense for myself here. Which means I wouldn't see really this, most likely. I might have some like intricate design here. This would go around if this was connecting, and then the back in the middle. So, something like that. So, I think that's it for right now. We're almost at 2 hours. This is where we're at with this particular character. So I'll come back in another video and we'll work on maybe getting some clarification on this area down here, especially with the loops and stuff. And then we'll transfer it on to the bigger piece. Peace out.